Hey guys, so welcome in. So my brother Steven of Nerd of Games, Stitchy Boy here on YouTube, he actually introduced me to a new game. It's in early access called Star Rupture. It is so much fun, so addicting. Like I have been clocking a lot of hours on this game. I only got it the other day and I have already clocked over a day in the game. Highly recommend it. I know they have a DLC that comes with it if you want for an extra, I think $4. The game itself is less than 20 bucks. So it's super cheap to get. I think for the game and the DLC, I paid less than 20 bucks. Really worth the money. I love it. I'm gonna go ahead and start a new game, even though I have a world that already has a whole bunch of stuff in it. But for this stream, I'm going to start a new game so I can show you guys how the game is, how the game plays, and get you an overall experience. Now, if you don't get the DLC, you only start out with some food rations and I think a couple of building materials. You don't start with anything else. Now, if you get the DLC, every time you start a new game or you jump into a friend's game, you have a bunch of starter stuff like chips that can be exchanged for data points, which I'll go over, like quartz and a few other things. You get a whole starting kit that kind of helps give you a boost up, and it's only an extra $4 when you buy the game. So highly recommend it. It will help you out a lot, but you can also get away with just playing the base game and not have to worry about any of it. Now, the map is only one type of map. It's not like Minecraft or Lego Fortnite or anything like that, where you have a different seed for each world. It is only one type of world so far. You have 5 corporations that you have to send materials to that help you unlock new machines, new ores, new stuff that you can get. As you explore, you fight off aliens. Now, these aliens are kind of like really scary looking spiders, and they come out at you anywhere. And they have all different types as you progress through the game. It is so much fun. So I think I'm done explaining for now. Let's go ahead and jump into a new game. We'll go ahead and just name it World Creation. I don't know. You can't put a space in between those. Spaces are not allowed in the game name. So either do like an underscore. I think you can do an underscore. Yeah, you can do underscore or just do capital letters and all that. Whichever works for you. You can choose to either start your game with friends only, invite only, or single player, which I'm going to do single player. I'm not going to go through the tutorial with you. The tutorial is kind of dragged out a little bit in my personal opinion. I do recommend going through it though, because it will help you out a lot. It took me talking to my brother and him doing a tutorial for me to really understand it. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get into the game. Now, if you want your game to run a little bit smoother, I highly recommend lowering your graphics in the settings to balanced. It'll make the game run a lot smoother. So Pumpkin, get down. Everyone say hi to Pumpkin. Go. Okay, so now you do start out with only 4 characters that you can choose from. Now with that being said, there are 3 guys, 1 girl that you can choose from. It doesn't really matter who you choose. Me personally, I'm a girl, so I'm gonna choose the engineer. But the classifications like soldier, engineer, scientist, it really doesn't matter because it doesn't affect your gameplay. That I found out. Now, this is just me learning. Now, I could be missing a lot of information because I haven't progressed that far into the game. So, there could be a lot of things that maybe later on down the line there is a reason for engineer, soldier, so-and-so. But from what I have learned, I have not found anything that really the classification of your character makes any type of difference. So that's just based off of what I have learned and what I have gathered. So take what I say with some leeway, because I don't know everything about this game. I am still learning this game. So yeah. So let's go ahead and select her. Now, with this game, you are a prisoner that gets put onto a planet.
Prisoner E4101.
Here.
Welcome to Arcadia 7. You've chosen to skip the recommended onboarding training. At the Claywood Corporation, we value that kind of confidence. I'm looking forward to working with you.
Okay, so now this is your starting ship. Now you can start your base of operations out of here. Me personally, I'm not a fan of it. In these personal storage, these are your survival food pack. Now, you do start out with 1 meteorite heart and 500 basic building material. With the DLC, you get an extra 1,500 building material. You get 20
Can you hear me?
of the survival
What was
packages.
Oh, don't worry. It's only B1690, one of your colleagues. You're connected via audio, even when they're not currently active.
When they're not active?
The human brain can't go on for too long without stimulation. When sleeves are sleeping in the regeneration chamber, they get a constant audio and video feed of everything you do. They can also communicate with you. You'll also get this opportunity.
Everything?
Relax. You have nothing to be ashamed of.
Okay, so that explains that. Now every so often it'll just start talking, so when it does, I'm just gonna go ahead and let it talk so you guys can get a feel for everything. Part of the starter, the DLC starting kit, you also get 1,000 intermediate building material, 50 quartz. Now these are the data chips. When you analyze them, you'll see like a plus 2,000 down here. That's how many data points you get per data chip. So you get 10,000 data points. 10,000 data points just by analyzing these. Now, the war bonds are what you use to craft weapons. Now, you only start off with a drill, like a laser drill to go ahead and mine stuff. You don't start out with any weapons. Now, the drill can kill the aliens, but it takes a little bit to kill each alien. And if you get a whole swarm on you, you're SOL completely. So, highly recommend keep a hold of these. Make sure you get to unlock the weapons station as soon as possible. These are LEMs. Lesser endurance giver. So like this one increases your stamina by 30, increase your health by 15, increase your max shield by 20, and increase your shield by 50. Now these you get to use in the LEM machine, where you can actually add these boosts to your character. Now, you don't have access to that early game. You do have to level up the corporations, and I'll show you all of this stuff. Like, it'll make sense later on, but for now, we'll just It's a later in the game type thing. But each personal storage has 10 of the food packs. So you want to make sure you grab that because you do run out on food and water pretty quick. If you want to follow with the storyline, you can go over here. It says, "Dear convicts, welcome to the first team of the Argos project. Claywood Corporation is honored to welcome you to the surface of Arcadia 7, located in the Ruptura system in the URVX galaxy. Your presence as the first team after more than half a century of stagnation marks a new chapter in the history of humanity and the future of our company. Your mission is to extract, process, automate, and ship the resources required on Earth. At the same time, we encourage you to explore and document this undiscovered world, a potential new Earth. You were chosen for a reason. Each of you have unique talents and experiences that make you invaluable pioneers. While your past may have been difficult, Claywood Corporation offers you a chance for redemption and a fresh start. Each completed order brings you closer to the freedom you long for. Good luck. Sincerely, the Claywood Corporation team." So, it gives you like a rundown of what the game is. This is an item printer where you make ammo, building material, power cells, stuff like that. So when you leave your ship, you come out. It is open world. Like, it's a limited map, and you don't have access to the map until you level up some of the corporations. But it is open world, kind of like Minecraft, Lego Fortnite, stuff like that. So this is the laser drill. Now, these are meteorites. When you take one of the meteorites out, you get a whole bunch of stuff. So, like, you start out with 8 Wolfram ore, which is equivalent to copper. Now, it does take a minute, and you do have to pay attention to your heat bar, because the drill will overheat, and you just hit R for like reload, and it'll cool it down. Now, these are ore deposits. This is for titanium. Now, if you're ever curious as to what ore the deposit is, you can harvest with the drill, and it'll tell you titanium ore. So, throughout the map, you'll find all these different ore deposits. Now, on these ore deposits are where you put the excavators. Now, within this first vicinity of the map, there are no aliens that come at you until you upgrade your base core. Now, your base core is what, the base core gives you a starting power of your base, so you can start running machines. Now, you do need solar panels if you're going to have which in this game you are going to need a massive amount of machines. Now you can harvest these little ones. These are really quick to just take out, but it also helps you clear up the area, especially for building. Now you can lay stuff on top of these, but that just means that you won't be able to access them individually. Now these are star tiers. It's a type of consumable that I think gives you, I think it is a little poisonous. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so you see how the skull and crossbones right there, so it'll poison you by 5, but it'll give you 20 health. So your your poison will wear off pretty quickly. So if you're in need of food, you can eat it, but you will get like a odd effect. Like here, I'll show you real quick.
I advise caution. The fruit on Arcadia can alleviate hunger, but putting unknown things into one's mouth is rarely beneficial to the individual. Though, of course, it was beneficial to the development of civilization. Although this fruit is edible, that won't always be the case.
Yeah, so you have to be careful. So this is a good starting area because you really only need wolfram and titanium when you're starting out. These are wolfram deposits. So there's a few of them over here. Now I'm gonna go ahead and lay out the base core, and I'll show you how that works. So the building is really cool. So you have all this stuff, and of course you unlock stuff as you progress. Now you can't lay down anything without the base core. Let's see. Now you can change the level by doing the scroll, or you can lower it down. It's really all your preference on how you want to build. Now with this, it'll show you, like, this is where you can upgrade. You need a whole bunch of like ignitum, ceramics, helium, meteorite heart, all of that. So it'll take a little bit to upgrade your base core. Now, with that being said, you can use solar panels to power up your area, and they don't have to connect into the platform. So you can have like a solar field right over here and all of that. So we'll lay out some solar generators. Now you'll see like a gray bar along the edge right there. That's your barrier. So within that square, all of the solar panels, as long as they're in that square, will give you the power that you need. Now each solar panel only gives you 10 power. Some machines need 5, 10, 15, but it's per machine. So you can only have like 2 excavators going with one of the solar panels. And they do cost 40 building material, so you want to sparingly use it until you start excavating the wolfram and the titanium. Once you start excavating those, then it'll be a lot easier to get a whole bunch of building materials, and you will need that. You will need a whole lot of building materials in this game. Now, I think it's like 30 to 40 minutes, or maybe every hour in real life, the sun sends out a giant solar flare. It incinerates the entire planet. Now, it doesn't destroy your buildings, but it does overheat them. So there's a cooldown period. Now, the best part about the cooldown period is as the world is cooling and everything is destroyed, you are safe to explore without getting attacked by monsters. That being said, if you try and activate a monster hotspot after the rupture, they will spawn. You will cause an early spawn. So it doesn't stop them from spawning if you purposely activate something, but you can out and explore and branch out without them just randomly appearing. So unless you actually like activate them, they don't come out until after the world cools to the proper temperature, which takes about 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, so now that we have some solar panels, let's go ahead and get an excavator. Now, it'll show you where on the ore deposits you can put excavators. So, we're gonna put one here. And you can use R to rotate them. Now, keep in mind of the arrows. So, the arrows show which direction the output is gonna come out. So, if I put it that way, then the output will go that way, but I don't want it to go that way. I want it to all feed into the middle here, and you'll see why in a minute. So with that, you can use these rail connectors. Now, these rail connectors are a lifesaver. So it'll help send out your materials a lot quicker by doing a rail connector, because then you can connect all of the machines into one area instead of having them all in different things. So it's a little wonky at first, but you just connect it. Now, the rail goes on the way that you put it. So, if I have the rail going this way, where it's coming from the excavator to the thing, or to the connector, it'll show the arrows going inward. Now, if I, for some reason, which I don't know why you would do it, because it won't work that well, if I want, I can go from the rail connector and go into the excavator. Now, that shows arrows that it only allows it to go out, but if this was like a fabricator or something, then if you do it from the rail connector to the machine, then it'll drag it. So you gotta pay attention to how you're laying out your rails, because if you cross thread them, for lack of a better term, it won't work properly and it won't be as efficient. Now, if you accidentally place something, you can hit F and it'll deconstruct it. Now, everything that you deconstruct, you will get all those materials back. It does not take some as like a cost or anything.
E4101. You look like you're a magnet for trouble.
I won't pretend I'm a saint. I've helped smuggle this and that in my time for those in need.
People like you don't understand order. You just cause more problems for everyone else.
And you always followed orders and ended up in the exact same place as I did. I'd rather not follow anyone and be free.
You know nothing about me.
Now, there is a whole reason why I am doing it this way, and you'll see why in a minute. So, I'm gonna connect both the titanium and the wolfram over here, and then I'm gonna have my machines going this way, and you'll see why I'm doing this in a minute. So, you hit B, and that's how you get to your building stuff. Excavator. So I'm gonna have that one. That one. And that one. And then I'm gonna link all of them in. Now, I like having the rails angled up as high as I can, just so that it gives more leeway in between when you're walking and whatnot. That one, and then we'll feed this one. Now, from there, we're going to link these into here.
I'm getting better at this.
And then we're gonna link this. To here. Now, the whole reason why I have all this leading in is because I have OCD. Okay, so I have to have things symmetrical. So with that being said, the initial start of how you want to set up your machines is you want to, let's see, set up that, go down a little bit. So we're gonna build a couple out. And now, the starting out, you need one smelter. Now, this smelter will be the lifeline, pretty much. So you want to make sure the arrows are facing this way, and you want to link it up. I think that's linked up. Yes. No. Arg. Make sure the arrows are facing the direction you want. Now you'll see a little link thing right there, and it shows that it's linking via the middle block, which is what I want it to do. Now, if you want to get all messy and have a tangled mess, have fun. I am not going to stop you. But just know it is going to be very complicated for late game. Now, this is an orbital launcher. This is pretty much the star, like, the star of the show, in a way. Because this is how you get the stuff to, this is how you get the stuff to Earth. Now, by getting stuff to Earth, you get all your buildings and stuff unlocked. And, of course, you want to do that. So, I'm going to do that. I'm going to place this right there. And then I'm going to link all of these together. So now this will feed into this. This will feed into this. Now, eventually, I'm going to break this off after we send enough materials, but for now, we're gonna do that. Now, this is just how I keep things organized. You can do things however you want to do it. That's the plus side to this game, is that you have free reign to do what you want. And at the end of the day, the limit is your imagination. Okay, so this is your the 5 corporations. So to start off, for future health, you need Wolfram Bar, Selenium. Selenium has titanium. Moon is Wolfram. Griffiths Blue is titanium. And Clever Robotics is Wolfram. Now, what I'm gonna do is, because I need more power, I'm gonna go ahead and lay down some more solar panels. I show you the basics and everything, I'm gonna go ahead and jump into my other world to pretty much show you all this stuff in action. Now one way to tell if the machines have power is you'll start seeing stuff going on the rails. There's nothing going on the rails yet, so which means there's no power. We'll start off with the wolf. Now you can set up a smelter to each one.
I don't get it, Sam. What's so interesting in beetles or flowers?
They're part of the world we live in and are inextricably connected to it. We wouldn't exist without beetles or flowers.
We wouldn't exist without fundamental forces. Beetles and flowers can be easily replaced with automated systems. You can't replace electromagnetism.
You'd really want to live in a world without plants?
I wouldn't mind it.
Let me see if connecting in. Now, connecting in is kind of the equivalent of hardlining your computer and just letting it go via Wi-Fi. So let's try and do a direct link and see if that works. Because I really just want to show you how this all works first, and then I can show you what to look forward to later on in the game. Okay. Weird. Okay. So yeah, we'll just do a direct link for now, because I don't want to go through all that hassle. So, we're going to start off with the Wolfram bars. Now it's going to start excavating the Wolfram and sending it over here. Oh, it would help if I linked these. Wow, I'm smart. There you go. Now, you'll see the Wolfram ore coming over, and then you'll have the bars over here, and I'll say awaiting items. Then, we set this up to collect the Wolfram bars. Now, with that being said, it'll launch off and send off whatever it needs to. Now, with both of these hooked up, we can send double the amount of wolfram, and it'll send to both of them. So now we send off way more in a quicker amount of time. And then once we do this for the wolfram, we can go ahead and do it for the titanium. Now, within here, it'll show you. So you can prepare for what you're going to need. So wolfram bar and wolfram wire, which you'll see what machines will need for those. And you've got 14 levels for that one, 15 for this one, 14 for this one, 14, 14. And now we're gonna need our habitat. So this habitat is where you are going to be the safe, is going to be your safe house pretty much. Now you want to make sure you have an airlock so you can easily access. We'll set up a couple platforms. Now the building is a little difficult sometimes, so this will become your best friend. I might just do one out, because I'm not going to make this a main world anyways. This is only pretty much like a tutorial that's a little bit quicker than the base game tutorial. So you come in, you've got just a blank space. With that being said, you want to lay out your corporate terminal, analyzing station. Now, let me go get some more building material real quick. Now, with it being directly linked in, we can preserve some of our building material. So, we just got that back. Now, we have enough for the corporate terminal. Now, I highly recommend putting it on the wall, because if you have it out like this, it takes up way too much space. So, we want to have the corporate terminal, analyzing station, and basic item printer. Now, in here, you can see the progress. So we have, for future health solutions, we've got level 1 that we're working on, getting up to level 2. Now, level 2 unlocks the regeneration chamber. Level 3 gets you the med tool, which is an instant heal. The LEM station as well.
So, you were a soldier?
That's right.
Then I have a question. How can you sleep knowing everything you had to do in the name of the IRO?
I don't sleep too well. But not because of the orders I carried out, but because of the ones I didn't.
So even after your sentencing, you're still on their side?
No. I'm on our side. All of us. The side of peace.
We are not going to be friends.
Okay, so I think they're done talking. So the LEM station is where you go ahead and you put the chips in to give you the boosts. Food station, self-explanatory, you can start creating food. Helium extractor, that's where you get more helium. Inventory upgrade, stuff like that. So you get a whole bunch of stuff as you level up in each corporation. Selenium is where you unlock the fabricator to build titanium rods and wolfram wire, the plates, stuff like that. Furnace, you can make glass, ceramics, all of that. recycler, which you can recycle items into various building materials. So you get a whole bunch of stuff that you are going to eventually need for late game. Griffith's Blue, you get Griffith's Blue on level 2 is where you get the ability to make guns. That is going to be a major lifesaver, by the way, because trying to fight those aliens with just a drill is very difficult. So this is the game. You have to grind, get materials, send them to Earth, unlock more stuff where you can advance through the world. Now, you can go through, play the full tutorial. It'll give you more in-depth, step-by-step. It'll be more of a walkthrough to get you better equipped with the game. So this is kind of like a throw you in a deep end type thing. Just to give you kind of like a backstory when I jump into my other world where I have literally like half of this stuff. But this is the basic setup that you want to have to start out the game. You want to have some solar panels, you want to have the orbital launcher, a smelter, and the excavators. So, to give you just a basic idea of how to get your game started. Now, I'm going to go ahead and jump into the world that I have been clocking in so many hours in. And you get to see all of this stuff put into effect. As you can tell, I have logged 20 hours and 23 minutes in this world. So yeah, I have logged a lot of time and a lot of energy, but it is so worth it. Like 100% worth it to get this game, get the DLC, help out the creators. Okay, so this is the world getting incinerated. Now, a solar flare has already hit, so this is pretty much the aftermath. It doesn't affect your items, like all your building stuff. Now, this is a new base area where I'm working on, so I'll show you my original base to show you how everything progressed there. Now, this area of the map, this is where I have helium over here and all that. I haven't unlocked the helium extractor yet, but
planetary temperature within acceptable parameters.
So now the world is cooling, which means it's safe to go outside. So on this top floor, I have the observatory. This floor, I haven't done anything with. This floor is a lower level observatory. This floor has all my equipment, my machines and stuff that I need. And then down here is all the storage. What's really cool is you can label the storage and have it set up for whatever you want in it. Now, once the world cools down enough, you can come outside. Now, it'll look like this, and while it's dark, you are safe to explore wherever you want to explore, minus the radiation areas, obviously. Now, I have explored a good amount of my map. You don't have access to the map until you upgrade in the corporations. They are locked, but you can unlock the map, which will be a major lifesaver. So my initial base is all the way down here. I am all the way up here. So let's go ahead and work on heading back so I can...
I'm so hungry I feel sick. Tasty.
Hydrate, and we'll have to wait for... You know what? No, I think I might have some food. Hold up. I might have some food. Because this is like the best time for me to head back to into my area without getting attacked by Now, tab is how you access your inventory. Okay, so now that we are fed, watered, everything, let's go ahead and make it back to my original base. Now, in the cooldown, there is no habitation at all. There are like these, what look like kangaroo, but not kangaroo creatures that are out, and then there's some coral crab looking creatures that you'll see, but they are completely harmless. They don't do any, they won't hurt you.